Hello, and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of April 24th. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Catherine and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week, we continued with both our series watches, Brothers and Sisters Season 2 and Ted Lasso Season 3. Ted Lasso. I imagine the conceptualization of this episode was something like, what if the Beard episode, but everybody?
Right, but everyone.
Bill Lawrence,
Yes.
I know you know how to make a snappy half hour of television that has multiple plot threads. I know, I have seen it, I have loved it. What the heck, man? Do not take advantage of streaming. This was over an
1 hour and 6 minutes.
Oh my goodness. And
yes,
even with all the plot lines there was so much pruning that could have been done. Please, please don't abandon all your good habits of cutting something down to fit in a network's slot just because you don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, 45 minutes is one thing.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
65 is different.
And have mercy on the podcasters who are working hard to promote your show, but sit down to say, oh my gosh, I've got to watch this before we talk about it, and then find out it's like twice as long as they had budgeted in time.
Yes. It's a lot.
Just so much there, and really so little to talk about. Starting out with apparently Ted's inspirational pep talk from last week that we felt like we were building up to. He's finally back. He's finally going to do some good. Did zero good. They're still bad. They're still can't play.
Terrible.
They're still doing terrible. So
even in a friendly.
That's right. So why? Why? I ask you why.
And on this episode, spoiler, ends with, Ted coming up with a whole new strategy. But like the whole point is that he's the inspiration guy and Beard is the strategy guy. So what was the point of this little detour into he thought he was high on mushrooms, but actually he was just in a American themed restaurant.
Wasn't there a restaurant very much like that on The Good Place?
I think so, yes.
Except I think that was, I don't know where that was, if that was in America or if that was in hell. I'm not sure.
Maybe, I think it was in Australia.
Oh, okay.
Remember, they were in Australia for a while.
All right. Apparently, the idea of an America-themed restaurant is irresistible to television creators. And okay, this one was kind of funny, but still. He had this sort of trippy moment where he was imagining this thing that we had to sit through at great length. And then it turns out that it wasn't even.
Right. It was already something that had been made up.
So
by the Dutch.
So much excess. I mean, Jamie and Roy riding bicycles was kind of adorable once, maybe twice. It did not need over and over again. Rebecca and her anonymous, adorable guy could have got that in fewer scenes. So much. And also, guys, soccer team, someone in the public eye, soccer team, you're having a pillow fight in the lobby of a hotel. How is somebody not filming that and putting it on the internet and saying these guys are so lame that they spend their night in Amsterdam with a pillow fight with each other? You will never be able to look. What? What? It's adorable. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? They had a pillow fight. But is that the image you want to put out there as footballers? I don't think so. And also, just even that you spent the entire night in the lobby trying to figure out what you wanted to do is sad enough.
Right.
Oh, well. And
I'm worried that Danny Rojas never saw a tulip.
I know. Come on, guys.
Just one. He just wanted to see one.
He's so pure. Man, see a tulip.
Dear.
And,
well, I think the criticism that Linda Holmes had, which was in I think, the Pop Culture Happy Hour
Yes.
newsletter recently, was that all the characters are always split
Yes.
up and by themselves. You know, obviously with the exception of the team, which has decided they have to stick together.
Except for Colin.
Hence the pillow
Except for
fight.
Colin. He can go off.
Well, he snuck off. Yeah. But he made an excuse to the guys. But you know, that's kind of the problem with this season, that they are all doing off on their own, doing their own thing, when the whole point of it is the ensemble, and we're not getting that. We are not.
And this was just like an extreme version of that. I'm surprised we didn't get a scene of Keely and Jack somewhere, wherever they were. But I guess since they were not in Amsterdam, they don't get to be in the little fever dream here.
The episode, right.
But Roy is aware of the situation. And we never... was it Linda Holmes that was saying we never found out why they broke up or why he dumped her or whatever? I hadn't been thinking along those lines, but okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, he stressed multiple times, I broke up with her, you know, because everyone thought that she was the instigator.
But either get back together or go find that school teacher. You know, it's just like, I really don't want to go through weeks and weeks of this.
Right.
They're gonna bring the ship around at some point, right, Catherine?
I hope so. And another point that it was either Linda or, like you said, possibly the Fog Girls made, was that if they may have originally thought they had 8 episodes,
and then they had 10.
They had 10, but according to IMDb, it's 12.
Oh, well, that's how you get an episode like this. And that's how you get an episode like the Beard episode last season. Is because we have this much plot and we have these many episodes. And
perhaps if they made them shorter.
This is how you do it, guys.
Also solve
you make
the
them
problem.
half a bleeping hour, and then you can spread your small amount of plot over as many episodes as you want. Stop being indulgent. Enough. And I like these people's work. And individually, there's no part of it that was not good. It's just, you know, we know as writers, you write and you love everything you write, and then you go back and you start cutting stuff because that's the way it works.
Right.
And blogs probably introduced us to a time when you do not need to do that, and that was unfortunate. And now streaming is doing the same for television.
Right.
Trim. Please trim. But Trent Krim turned out to be not looking to cause trouble with his book. Not evil. But just wanted to have a drink and a conversation.
A fellow formerly closeted person.
Exactly.
I guess.
So that was sweet. I had kind of thought that was the situation, but glad to see it confirmed. And
once you saw the animal print footwear that Trent had on.
I've been thinking, he doesn't look like the kind of guy who's going to make a big deal about outing this person. So, so that was a nice little plot thread. And Leslie got to play his bass in a jazz club.
Yes.
The admiring gaze of the young
Kit man,
the Kit Kid, who thought that evening was going to go differently, but seemed just fine with the way it went. So.
Right. And speaking of Kit men, we had no Nate.
Well, except he appeared once as a vision to Ted
in the dream. Yeah.
In the dream that Ted
haze.
had for no apparent reason, since he was not actually drugged.
Right. Which was fine. I didn't miss him.
No, that's fine. He could have used to have his own little finding yourself plot line, but no.
Yes.
If you run in Amsterdam, you don't get one.
That's right, Keely. You're out of luck. Nate, you're out of luck.
You guys you'll probably get your own extended episode in which to work out all your demons.
Great. I can't wait. No, thanks.
So that was an hour of my life I'll never get back. Oh, man.
Yeah.
But you do you, Ted Lasso. If you want to go into overtime, I suppose there's nothing we can do about it.
That's right.
But maybe from here on in, we could be a little more disciplined. Discipline would be good for this team. That's right. This football team and this television episode making team.
That's right.
So
consider it.
It was fun to watch Roy try to learn how to ride a bike and fall over and over and again.
Yes.
Kudos to Brett Goldstein's stunt double for taking
just
getting
toppling
slammed
over
repeatedly
many times.
And
Jamie's,
glee
hype machine going. 2 seconds. You're getting better.
This was a particularly delightful outing for Jamie, I will say. He was a lot of fun and not as vindictive as he could have been. So that would be exactly like an adult learning to ride a bike. I was thinking, is he just going to get on this thing and miraculously be able to do it because he's an athlete and a television character? And no.
Right. No.
It went pretty much the way it goes when you are 5. So...
Except it's further to the ground.
That's right.
When you fall.
And it hurts more when you land.
Yes.
And there's
you're not as bouncy as you are as a 5-year-old.
That's correct. Right. But did we miss anybody's convoluted plot thread here?
I don't think so.
The whole Rebecca on the boat thing made me nervous throughout, although he seemed like such a conspicuously okay person. But... Mm-hmm. They could have been at sea by the time she woke up,
Right. Yes. And, first I was like, okay, they're going to get together and she's going to become a mom by virtue of being a stepmom to his kid. But then at the end, they left it ambiguous that maybe something happened.
Yes. I was wondering about that.
Which, if it did, because she was asleep and didn't know about it.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
I mean, she seemed fine with it if it did happen, but if it did, he fully took advantage.
Yes.
So that's not cool.
And at the same time, that entire episode seems like it could be maybe she had some mushrooms because it was like such a fantasy thing.
Yes. Yes.
Did that really happen? Were you? I don't know. Perhaps she stayed in the hotel, took some sleeping pills, and that's what that was all about.
Right. And that's what happened.
But she seems like, in the same spirit of people who jump into the pool with their clothes on, she seemed unconcerned with her bag being at the bottom of the canal.
I don't even think she had a bag. She just had her phone.
Okay. All right.
It was her
That's
phone.
Good.
But again, equally, probably worse than losing your bag.
And then he throws his phone in solidarity, which... Geez, man, you don't.
You don't know this lady. She might be horrible.
That's why it's like, is this really something that would happen? Is this like a fantasy somebody is indulging in the writer's room? Okay,
right.
That's behind us now, and now we shall move forward into a new era where episodes are shorter and the team wins. Right, and
yes.
Ted is not a depressive lump and. Rebecca regains her power.
A capable businesswoman.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Right? We're heading there? Mm-hmm. That'd be good.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
That'd be fine. Yep. Roy either gets back together with Keeley or moves the heck on.
Right.
Jamie was also missing from the team because probably if Jamie had been there, the team would have made a decision to do something. But
yes.
Instead, he was out riding bikes. So cute. I bet they could have looked at some tulips on the way in their biking if Danny had gone with them. They could have,
in the dark.
On the way to the windmill, they could have seen some tulips.
Yes.
In the dark, but still. Is that the same Van Gogh exhibit that you went to?
I think that was the actual
Van Gogh museum, yes.
Yeah, the one that I saw was the immersive one.
Because I thought that would be what he was going to in his drug-induced stage.
Yeah. They did have that big bank of screens. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure that's the real the real deal
Yeah.
Van Gogh Museum.
Okay. And the city of Amsterdam gave a little, please visit these places in our town.
Right.
And here's some money.
with Jamie providing tour guide services. Right. They should put that into an audio tour and sell it.
They really should. So cute. Anyway. All right, Ted Lasso. We've got that behind us now.
Mm-hmm.
Please, we beg of you, edit. So on Brothers and Sisters, Justin's home.
Justin's home.
It's like his family, he's kind of a mess, but he's home. Nobody moved his shoes, so everything's good. But
yeah, but he can't go upstairs in his room to find out.
That's true. Yeah, this is going to be tough. Mm-hmm. He's, he's injured and he needs to take painkillers, and he doesn't want to take painkillers because, he's not that long ago recuperated from a drug habit. So he's afraid to take them again, but he's not going to be able to not, because once the blockers they had on in the hospital wear off, he is in a considerable amount of pain.
Right.
And he has the additional painful condition of having his mother hovering around him every second.
Yeah.
And she, as mothers ourselves, we can recognize that she is trying to do what the doctor told her to do.
Right.
And he is not having any of it.
Yeah.
And as much as you want, it's as much as you want her to, just leave him alone. She can't, he needs care.
Right.
So
I'm rather surprised that obviously for plot reasons, but they just let him out? I mean, yeah. I feel like they're like, well, they flew him back from Germany and he's had a couple surgeries and you can take him home tomorrow. Like, what?
We were
tomorrow?
just waiting for someone to come and get it. And how did he ride home in that minivan? Was there room to keep his legs straight or what? These are questions we are not supposed to ask.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, everything about that, as they're driving to pick Justin up, it's Nora, Kevin, and Kitty, and they're listening to some conservative talk radio host, and of course Kitty calls in and makes all sorts of trouble, and yeah, okay, fine. Move along. Would that happen? Well, I don't know. But
yeah. She's supposed to be a professional.
Yes, she is. And so that's why it's funny when he does it. And then Robert makes everything right in a way that also wouldn't happen, because that guy wouldn't back down.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his shtick,
Right.
But fine.
Yes.
My happy thing about the presidential campaign this week is that the character of Travis has popped up, played by Dennis O'Hare. And I remember that character so affectionately from the first time I watched it, as just a constant needling presence and someone who does not get along with Kitty at all, and just sort of is poking her with a sharp stick pretty much whenever he has the opportunity. So they're acting like he's been there all along, though we have never seen him, but he will be popping up throughout this season delightfully, because honestly, that is a fun character as we go ahead.
Right.
And
he's the one who's like, what do you mean you're leaving? We're trying to run a presidential campaign here. And she's just like, why don't you go put your kids to bed sometime?
Yes. Yeah. He hasn't been informed yet that he's in a TV show. He thinks this is actual politics.
This is a real campaign.
I'm very sorry to tell you, man. Them Walker's going to do what them Walker's going to do. You just got to let it flow over you.
Yep.
But, one thing in this episode, I remember hating it the first time and hating it now, that they opened at a military funeral.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, making it, you think, what? Oh my gosh.
Because the last episode ended with there were casualties, but we didn't know who.
No, it's not. We know it's not Justin. Come on. And they when they're giving the flag to the grieving woman, and they just linger on her hands for a little while before they pan up and you see it's somebody we've never seen before. Right. Come on. It's insulting. Don't take a cheap shot at suspense at the expense of it's not a real military family, but still, that's bad taste. I thought that was really, don't do that.
Also, I'm going to look this up because later Kitty says that her mom is a Gold Star mother. And
I thought that's somebody whose kid died.
Exactly. And it is. I just looked it up.
Yes.
So
she's
you're
not only
using that incorrectly.
Which it was with the talk show host, right?
Yeah.
Is that when she said it? Yeah.
Yeah. She said
I fast forwarded through that part, I'll admit, of her phone call. But somebody would have jumped on that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And should have, because don't claim something that you are not.
Yes. It's, what do they call it? Stolen valor.
Serious.
Yes.
This military stuff. So come on.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And then
if we want to switch gears a lot, you have Joe and Sarah, and Terry goes back to the plate because because Joe is like seeing his ex again, and it's because they needed to deal with Gabe. I'm saying if Gabe would have been dealt with properly already, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
That decision that she made to go try out the password, an action which brought Rebecca into her life, which had repercussions with her marriage, instead of immediately making that boy a plate in which everything would have been happily ever after. Mm-hmm. Come on.
Right?
Nobody ever goes back to that point except us, Catherine. We are the ones. We know
we
where
are the ones
wrong.
15 years later that can say this is the problem.
The pivotal moment of this series, at least for Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he's getting his revenge for sure.
Yep.
Would have been so easy to make this all go away, babe. So easy. Pain a dang clear.
So
yeah, that's not going to go well. And Tommy hires a new assistant at his office.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yes, you are right to have a bad feeling about this. And I have held it against Emily Rose ever since. She was previous to this, I believe, in John from Cincinnati.
I know, I recognized her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was before or after this, but I think it was before, because I said, oh, I know her. And then I never wanted to know her again. But yeah, you could just see that trouble coming down the road, can't you?
Yes.
A friend of Rebecca.
Right. Even though
possibly go wrong.
She's the friend of Rebecca's that Holly actually likes.
Yes.
She's the good influence, supposedly.
Yeah.
But yet she was fired from being a barista.
Though she does have good gaydar, apparently, because she clocked Uncle Saul right away.
Right. As he tries to deny it, but now we all know.
I love women.
And I also love opera, or whatever he says. Good try, Saul. Good try.
Yeah, so they're putting on the speed on that plot line for sure.
Well, there's nothing on this show that takes its time.
No, that's true. That's true.
It's all urgent.
Everything is accelerated. And yes. It's hard to have a lot invested in Tommy and Julia because they never really got all that much screen time. You know, Joe and Sarah got much more attention. But I feel like we can't think of anything to do with them now. So we'll just make them be having problems.
Right. It wasn't enough that we killed their child already.
Exactly. And now they have a baby, and that's boring.
Sit with that for a little while. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, you can't blame Julia for anything. She's usually going through a lot. But on the other hand, Tommy's not really doing anything terrible. He is getting a business off the ground. It seems like when he's home, he's present and helping. And maybe he should stay home with his wife and baby, but on the other hand, his brother has just come home from being hurt. You could see why he would want to go. It just seems like arbitrarily we're going to mess this up just because we can't think of anything else to do. So, again, I say poor Sarah Jane Morris. She tried hard, but this show never had any interest in her character whatsoever.
No.
And still, give her a meaty postpartum depression plot line. and
Right.
have the whole family rallying around. You could do a lot with that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's disappointing. I wish they did not go on, down. I wish they weren't accelerating the road they're going down on that either, but it appears that they are. And Rebecca, since Justin is coming home, decides she better do that thing he told her to do, which was to tell Sarah that she was complicit in the kiss, which everybody knows is a bad idea. No!
And so pointless.
Yes.
Like, who cares at this point?
Yeah, it's it's long gone, and now all it is just to make you feel better. And
right, I mean, Sarah was
Annie.
Totally right about that.
And come on, be a little more savvy there, Rebecca. But she's she's becoming more and more a walker. They're assimilating her, and so
yes,
her lips are loosening more and more every day. Is losing the will to connive.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so we get back to Justin. Poor Justin. Justin is in a bad way.
I mean, I think that there are, alternatives. Like,
you would think,
he can't. I guess it's become more, acknowledged now that there's such a problem with opioids in this country. But I think that there are alternatives that they may not be as effective, but they're better than nothing.
One would hope.
So I would have hoped the doctor would have.
That was kind of odd.
Suggested
that it was just sort of like, oh, well, he doesn't want to become addicted to drugs again, but that's super unrealistic. So he should just go ahead and take whatever, and then we'll deal with it afterwards. No.
Right. Like, there needs to be
like a bad
more
plan.
Choices here.
Yeah. Maybe at the time there weren't.
Or have him take them, but get him support, or
get his drug counselors to come and have him help him.
How about that yoga teacher?
Yes,
get her over
well,
here.
I don't think he's gonna be doing yoga anytime soon. His leg's not too good, but she could entertain him in other ways, I guess. Poor Nora. He's not the same boy I sent away.
It's 3 whole weeks ago.
Right. But he's seen things. He told Robert. He's seen things. Didn't see things the first time. I guess he was too high, so he wasn't seeing anything. But now, he's seen things. So, Nora wished him home so badly. Well, here he is.
Right. Now you got him.
Good luck, lady.
Right.
But apparently she can curse in a way that would make a sailor blush, so maybe she's up to the task.
Yeah, she was extremely rude to the receptionist at the hospital.
She really was. And I also think she underestimates sailors. But, yeah. So she did not. Not a good episode for Nora all around,
but she got her boy back. Occasion.
She got her boy back. Damaged, but he's back. So next week, I will be recuperating from surgery.
You're going to take your painkillers, Terry.
I wish Nora would come to my house. I would want somebody fluttering over me. Darn it. My husband has to go back to work. And, I don't know when my kids, but on the other hand, I will have very minor surgery that I probably will whine about more than Justin is whining about his ghastly injury. So next week we will be bringing you some gently used episodes from our past, which will not include a round 2. So you will have to wait 2 weeks to find out what we think of the Brothers and Sisters Season 2, Episode 3, History Repeating, which...
Not that appealing.
I don't know that I need to watch them repeating their history, but they're going to do it with or without me.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that the history repeating does not involve the owner of the business going after a blonde, but
right.
I worry. And we'll catch up with Ted Lasso by watching the episode we should have watched next week and the episode after that. So you get a bonus episode in 2 weeks. And that is going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.